item is approval of our board agenda. She's bigger. You should have, I'm sorry. I make a motion we approve the board agenda. Motion. Second.
And I will do roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
And Mark's not here.
The agenda is approved. Next item is approval of the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion. Second.
And I will do roll call. Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
And Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye. Motion carries. The next is business before the board, and we're gonna let Stacy go ahead and do her student of the month.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up for February and then do March student of the month as well. So for February, the math department would like to recognize Allie Smith as our February student of the month. She demonstrates an amazing work ethic, very goal-driven. Allie is a member of the Oneida Lady Indian soccer team, National Honor Society, Beta Club, Best Buddies, and was recently recognized as one of our valedictorians. She represents our school with the highest level of integrity. Her ability to set goals and achieve them while also participating in extracurricular activity earns her the honor of Student of the Month. Allie is the daughter of Tim and Jane West. It's a great honor, and they just wanted to congratulate her. So that's our February Student of the Month from the math department. And then for our March Student of the Month, the English department would like to recognize Ayla Sims as our Student of the Month for March. Many of the same soccer team, National Honors, Beta Club, Best Buddies, anything else, huge part of basketball team. Ayla is, this came from the English department, Ayla is a very dedicated student. She is always punctual and positive. Not only does Ayla always complete her task, but she participates in discussions where she exercises great insight. She is a joy to be around, and she is very thorough in her coursework. We are so proud of Ayla and all of her hard work.
Congratulations. We have some great students.
That's what we do.
Very, very good. Our first item before the board is two policies that we need to do on first and second reading. The advertising and distribution of materials in the schools and payroll procedures.
I'll make the motion that we approve these policies on first and second reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second that we approve these on first and second reading.
And I will do roll call. Dr. Nancy Williamson.
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross.
Aye.
Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
And Dorothy Watson.
Aye. Motion carries. They are approved. The next item is the memorandums of understanding. The first one is the town of Oneida for the use of the Bear Creek facilities, sports facilities. And the second one is from our new family resource, Kelly Chitwood, a memorandum of understanding between Ridgeview Behavioral Health Service and Oneida Special School District.
On the town of Oneida contract, we're not gonna do concessions this year.
Now,
Are we gonna do a gate? And I guess what I'm asking
yeah,
is,
we're doing
you know, so we're gonna be able to pay the officials
Yeah,
kind
the
of.
officials, yeah.
So who's gonna be doing concessions then, do you know?
Boys and Girls Club the last time I checked.
Okay.
I think they're just trying to get their feet under them right
We've
now.
never done concessions
No.
have there.
But, so I say that's all I know. I don't know for certain, but that's what,
But we usually make enough money with the gate to pay the officials and
I
stuff.
mean, yeah, we do. It's okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but we do.
They do
it.
provide-
Spring sports are a little bit
They're harder.
Yeah.
Don't make as much money.
They don't.
Is the gate gonna be any different? You know, it was always tricky
I mean, it,
with the
With the
other
traffic?
people practicing. You know, you just
you
Deal
depend
with
on
it.
people, to be
Yeah.
honest.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everybody's honest.
Pretty much, okay.
Have
Um,
we had this before? No, I
Okay.
proposed it for like a few years.
Okay,
But
okay.
I think, so I think she just
I
kinda
think,
said.
I mean, that's
think that's
good, I
good.
Yeah,
just didn't
it's a
know
good
if we,
idea.
I
Yeah,
just
she
missed
said,
it. Okay.
she says,
Logistically, the concession stand is would be extremely challenging to do, to order the food, to get it up there, to have someone
yeah,
maintain it. We talked about it a little bit.
yeah, and we
but
can
it's-
barely do that here on
Yeah,
our
it's
own
hard enough
campus,
for-
so.
With the trucks, is there any percentage maybe? That,
Not that we know of. This,
and there probably should be. Anyway.
well, I mean, I don't know. What this does is just allow us to use their facilities, and based on my understanding, it's like, painting the fields
absolutely.
and all the.
Who they will be doing all that? That's
There's,
what it. Okay.
well, I think so. That was what,
Yeah, I didn't see. Was painting mentioned
no,
in the? I didn't think. And I wondered who would do that. No big deal. I mean, somebody
Yeah, I
can do
know.
it.
No, but
Jim-
I was
Jimmy
just
can do
curious, yeah.
I don't know, but I mean,
Yeah.
worst comes to worst, we can paint our own fields, we have to do that a few times.
I'd say it'll
My,
take,
my understanding was that they were.
Yeah,
they were
they're- that's my
We have not,
understanding.
we have not heard any different.
Who's paying the $1,000?
Do what?
No, the central office paying
Yeah.
for it?
We do.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a steal, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Those fields are beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, people will come to that facility and they're blown
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
I
field
agree.
to play on, and they keep it well maintained.
Right.
it'll take some working some buds.
so I'd say there's gonna be issues.
Yeah.
Anytime you start something new like this, there's gonna be issues,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think it's gonna be great.
That seems like it. Yeah. Probably high time we have one.
Yeah.
Well, I make the motion that we approve these 2 memorandums of understanding.
Motion,
Second.
second,
And I will roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
aye.
and Dorothy Watson.
Motion carries, the memorandums are approved. The next item is just budget amendments. One is cafeteria and the other one's general purpose. And this is just simply moving some money from one category to another to cover. Food was more expensive
Yes.
and
Benefits.
benefits,
Mhm.
yeah. And that's the thing, when you make a budget in July and August, you never know what it's gonna be after Christmas and in spring.
Make a motion, we approve the budget amendments.
Motion's been made,
Second.
second,
And I will roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Dorothy Watson.
Aye. Motion's approved, the budget amendments are approved. Our next items are fundraising, high school golf, high school softball, another golf, and cheerleading is stadium cushion and umbrella. Do I hear a motion we approve these 4 fundraisers?
I make a motion, we approve these 4 fundraisers.
Second.
Motion second,
And I will roll call. Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
aye.
and Kevin Byrd.
Aye.
I was cleaning the garage and found some old stadium cushions. You wouldn't believe some of the advertisers that was on it.
Max, yeah.
Of course, they're so brittle now, you can't do anything with them, but they were stuffed back there. So it's time for some new ones. Our next item is letters of resignation of Zach Kazee, Jeremy Hurst, Kelly Bratton, Janet Gold, and Cheslin Davis. Do I hear a motion we approve these letters of resignation?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second.
And I will roll call. Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
and Dorothy Watson.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is 3 leaves of absence. Donna Lee, Desiree Harper, and Velda Phillips. Do I hear a motion to approve these 3 leaves of absence?
I make a motion to approve the leaves of absence.
Second.
Motion, second.
Now a roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dorothy Watson,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
and Dr. Nancy Lamson.
Aye, motion carries. The next item is an amendment to the school calendar, and I know Zach sent an email right after he realized what had happened, but next year he had left off Good Friday. So we've got Easter and then Good Friday on April the 18th, and then one of the administrative days was gonna be
Toward the end.
May 28th.
May 28th will be another day to make up for that.
Motion to
Motion,
approve the amendment.
Second.
second.
And now a roll call. Kevin Byrd,
Aye.
Dr. Danny Cross,
Aye.
Dr. Nancy Lamson,
Aye.
and Dorothy Watson.
Motion carries. We do have a school calendar now.
Yeah.
Okay, director's report.
First of all, I would like to recognize, 2 people, and they are district staff member of the year. Our staff voted on these people. I'm amazed every year at the things that we can accomplish as a team, and it's because of people like, it's Kelly Chitwood and Damian Ellis, you know, that really make our schools a great place to work, a great place to be. And Damien is here. I know Kelly's out. She's at training, but I can tell you if I call Damien or text Damien, like he is Johnny on the spot, whatever we need. And the staff obviously love him. They voted for him. So if you all don't mind, I'd like to present a district staff. Now you all, I know you all know this, but he also drives a bus for us, which is. One of those things, can you come on up, Damien? One of those things that's difficult to find,
Totally sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll let you say that, is that okay? Okay.
You gonna get a picture, Nancy?
I'll be
Okay.
So I'm gonna stand on these, okay?
That's all right.
Here's your flag.
Okay.
All right.
Make it focused here. Okay, ready? Another one? Okay.
Thank you. And guys, when I say he's amazing, he really is.
Thank you.
So,
I really
just
appreciate
want
this,
you guys
guys.
to know, we're very thankful for him. We're also very thankful for Miss Kelly. Obviously, she works hard. She's gone. So I'll get that to her. And then also, just a few other things. I had put, our perfect attendance awards, and those have already been handed out for this quarter. Allie Slavin, Dorena Butler, Aiden Lafferty, Regina Sexton, Heath Sexton, Brooke Crabtree, April Ross, Brent Davis, Dorsey Loud. And then some of the updates in my report, and I know you guys take it home and read it, but I'm just gonna go through it. Any input as far as board budgets, we have our allocations 2 months late. And so we're struggling a little bit with time. But if you've got something I need to know now, like something that you want to discuss or with us before we start this process, make sure you email me details, text me, or we can set up a meeting. Also, I've given you all some legal updates in your packet. There's some articles from Dr. Williamson. Also, I want to let you know that, and Mark does not know this, I submitted Mark Martin as the novice teacher award for the state of Tennessee. If you were in our schools, and these boys right here can tell you, he's amazing. Mark is an amazing guy. He is always positive, and I'm so hoping and praying that he gets that.
Well, how do they decide that?
It's the state.
Oh, they do, so
They
they have
do,
judges that go
yeah.
through the applications. and-
I filled out the application for him, so I'm just hopeful that he gets it, because he deserves it. And then Kelly Chitwood was transitioning through coordinated school health, and I think while I was gone, the middle school the position for the middle school principal occurred, so I'll get on that sometime tomorrow or next week and kind of look at the data that they compiled from those meetings. And so hopefully very soon we'll have a transition for a middle school principal. Just know that that's it's gonna be a very tough transition, just like Kelly's is, and, we may have to put some additional supports in, to kind of help.
So is Kelly doing both now?
She is. She's doing both. Yeah, alongside with me and Zach helping with, obviously, the coordinate school health, family resource, and then Debbie Anderson, she does a great job with family resource. She's kind of really picked up the slack where we don't. So I'm thankful for her, and also Madison Baird, she helps with that position as well. So we're all just kind of pitching in, trying to survive till the end of the year. I've given you all every legislative calendar. I typically write those on Sunday. So I hope you guys are kind of keeping up with that. I told Ryan I needed him on the Hill with me these past couple of days because it's been a little bit tough. And honestly, I know that the proposals that we see, and I do want to meet with my staff, but we have 2 bills in front of us, obviously, a Senate bill and a House bill. Senate does not do anything for public ed, just to be honest. The House bill looks like it does, but in reality, it's smoke and mirrors. It is not. It's things that we've asked for, like amazing things. I know I've given you all that in your packets, assisting with health insurance and things like that. Paying for things that we've always asked for, but the reality is that if we get any of those, we are demolishing public ed, because that you can talk to anybody in any of these states, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, all these things and they can't even run buses in public schools now because of a voucher bill. They don't have counselors in schools because of vouchers and social workers, some of the things that we do have. And so, and what I found is through research, about 75% of the kids that take vouchers were the kids that were never in public school. They were always in private school. So it really doesn't help our kids. We're all for choice. I know everybody says that all the time. We're all for choice. We want our kids to have choices. We have choice here, but when you take public dollars out of public hands, it becomes an issue. And it's a major issue. I think there's embezzlement, parents are using money for things that they shouldn't use. And so I hope that we take a hard stance. Now, we lost. I can tell you this, we lost. But it's in finance now, so I'm hoping if everything works out,
if it's
they
in
can kill
finance.
it in finance.
Okay.
So that's our last hope. So it's been a little bit unnerving.
So it hadn't done any good to lobby our
We
legislators?
haven't.
Really?
I mean, it's been good because I think that there was a huge presence. You've got 147 people that you're staring at when you were trying, when they're voting. So I think that was very difficult for them. I hope it was very difficult for them. But anyway, that's kind of where we are. I've given you the amendments. Tried to keep up with that stuff as best as possible. Now, if I make a mistake, I do apologize on the front end, but that's a lot of information all the time. And then also in your packets, I put, Jason Terry actually compiled it, the industrial and business forecast and career cluster information that's in there. That just kind of lets you know kind of what jobs that the kids are being marketed for. So we're just in a I think an okay place today. Yesterday I would have said no, but we're in a better place today as far as legislation. So for the month of March, I would like to hire the following people: Whitney Bird, Jacob Hamilton, and McLaurin Love. And I think that is all that I have for the board.
Okay, and please keep up with what's going on in other states. North Carolina and Kentucky they're not doing vouchers. They're looking at what's the best way to spend the money. And they're working together on some things. I read that today. And also in Ohio, what they discovered when they started looking at attendance and kids moving, very few were leaving public school and going to private school with vouchers. The ones that were taking the vouchers, when they looked at zip codes, were your upper middle class and wealthy kids that were already in private schools. So that's who's taking the vouchers, that's who's taking the money. And my famous comment is, follow the money. Who's getting benefit? And there's some pockets being lined down there, and there'll be backroom deals, that's the way they operate. So, check, see who voted for it and who didn't. And go with the ones that didn't, and the ones that did needs to be very, very public. These are the ones that are trying to destroy our schools. And I spent the morning going through a lot of Diane Ravitch's works, her books. She started on this in 2003. She picked up on what was going on. This lady is education historian. She worked in the George H.W. Bush administration under Lamar Alexander as a secretary, assistant secretary of education. And she was all for testing, she was all for all this accountability. But after she got in there and got to working and got to looking at the numbers and the data, she saw what a ripoff it was and the harm it was doing to the students and to education. And she is probably one of the most outspoken people right now against testing, against vouchers, and against charter schools. And she's got the data and the information to back it up. But then you have to get a chance. Go back and read the old 1983 Nation at Risk. I happened to be taking a class from Tech when that thing came out. Of course, that was the hot topic of discussion in the class. But now, all these years later, they've discovered that it was a hoax. It was created, and none of it's true. The data was cooked. They cooked the books to get the result that they wanted. And that was to keep the Department of Education, because Reagan was going to abolish it.
I will say we met with the commissioner right before we left, and she actually showed up. The governor did not. I mean, like, we had him scheduled, he did not show up, but like the commissioner actually did. And one thing that I will tell you is one of the most astounding things is when she came in. You know, one of our seasoned superintendents, because there's not many of those left, said, I just want to know, out of this room, I want every superintendent that's against vouchers, and we keep calling it vouchers because that's what it is. They don't like for us to call it that, but that's what we call it, to stand, and everybody in the room stood. And he said, Commissioner, he said, I want you to know there's a lot of years of experience in this room, and I don't think that everybody in here is wrong. And so it you know, that kind of opened a door. She seemed a little bit more like she was having a conversation with us. So I was thankful for that. And she also
How many
was
superintendents were there? What'd you get?
144, I think.
Okay, cool.
And so one of the things that she did admit was that if a school system got a C, that they were a rock solid school. And that there was flaws in the formula, so I was thankful for that, and so hopefully they'll come out and retract some of the stuff that they've done. Of course, the timing was perfect as far as for legislation, so, and of course we told her that.
Does the governor listen to her at all, you think?
No, she's just a figurehead from Texas.
Yeah.
She still has her residence there. She is living where in Brentwood? She does live somewhere in Nashville, but I'm sure it's just a rental or somebody's letting her stay there. But her property is in Texas, and that's where she votes. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. That
He doesn't listen to her at all. He doesn't listen to her.
I'm sure he doesn't. He'll listen to anybody
Well, why does he have it?
except money. Well, it's a figurehead.
He's the one that
Have
wanted
to.
her one, or
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
He chose her.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just know he didn't show up for us again. I mean, I hate it. It just felt felt very
Well, I do.
frustrating, you know. And I think, and they were very respectful, I'm gonna say that, like, everybody in the room is respectful. But I think it always sends a message every time that happens to us, so.
Did we send a letter about the
Resolution.
resolution?
Oh, yeah, I sent that the day after y'all voted on it. And so TOS has it, TSBA has it, and they are, every school system pretty much in the state, I know Knox County did not. They have a little bit of diversity there. But I think across the state, there was one board that was neutral, two boards that were neutral, like they didn't understand vouchers enough really to make an exception as far as what to do. And then there was one that supported it, and the other school districts obviously strongly opposed it.
I am interested in one thing, and that's the inner city schools.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we don't do something with these large inner city school systems like Memphis,
Yeah.
Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
Knoxville's getting that way, and then
Yeah.
Chattanooga. Do most of those already have
They
vouchers?
do. They do. They have.
See, they got them,
Yeah.
what, 2 years ago?
To me,
Yeah.
if anybody, that would be a way of doing the inner city schools,
Yeah.
like it's a.
And those schools aren't performing very well. I think that'll ultimately kill them if they
Yeah, well,
don't start
that'd
performing.
be a one way, but if they don't do something with those,
Yeah, and they already have choice in those areas. I think this is targeted, I think the worst thing is it's gonna hurt rural schools. And small
Well, it
schools
is.
are gonna shut down, because they can't afford, to keep
then that'll ruin
the communities.
our
It will.
community, and then somebody will have to go back and, after that's done, and then something else has to be done.
Yeah, I made a lady, I've got her card in there on my desk, she was amazing, Beth Lewis, and not that we have a motivational speakers like, at TSBA or anything, ours is always legal and, legislative sort of stuff, but, I felt like she was very motivational. She just said, guys, I was for this because, legislation offered us paying a percentage of our insurance, is just what they're doing now, and, a few other things, and she's like, it is smoke and mirrors. You'll never see that money. And she said, even if you do, your teachers will never get another raise again, unless you fight for it, because there's no money. Like, there won't be money to give them a raise. And she just said, in our state, and this is a teacher, this is an actual teacher, which is what I loved about her. She said in our state, she said, we don't even have enough money, like we've had to shut down certain bus routes because we don't have enough money to fund our buses. They don't have social workers and they don't have guidance counselors. Like, I couldn't imagine that, because our guys, they take care of, making sure these kids are on track for college or whatever it is that they want to do. And if we have mental health issues, they're always there. So I can't imagine running a school like that. And she said now, of course, it's twisting, like everything's turning back around. They've got legislators running that are supporting public ed now because they've seen such a mess. And she said she doesn't know if they'll ever kind of get back to the way that they were. And she said it is complete discrimination because you'll have the kids that are haves and have-nots. And she said it was heartbreaking for her as a teacher because she wants to serve all kids just like we do, and this is really not what this does. And like I said, we're not against choice. We have choice here. We have choice in Scott County. We have open enrollment. It's not that. It's just public dollars going for private schools.
We're talking about choice of where the money goes.
That's
not
right.
where-
It's the
what
money.
school you go to. Yeah, the money will go to.
And they say that they're not taking money from public schools, but that is taking money
that's
from
what it
public
is.
schools.
That's all that is.
I think the word choice is very deceiving too, because, public schools take everyone. And there are students that aren't desirable. They're not gonna help your district.
No.
They're not gonna help you with test scores.
Mm-mm.
They have special needs, they're gonna require more resources.
And they're
those
not
kids
gonna
aren't-
take them.
They're not gonna take them.
Take them.
And so they're gonna stay in public school,
Yeah.
and
It's
then we're not gonna have the money
discrimination.
to, so that it is infuriating that they would say that this is for the poor, and the most at-risk students when
It's really not.
it's the
I mean,
opposite
if
of
you
that.
if you go to a private school, on average, what is it, 11,000, about 12,000? And so, first of all, it doesn't pay for it, and then secondly, how do our parents pay for transportation? I mean, that's,
In other states, it's just they raise the tuition, so they give the vouchers
And
and
they
they raise the
will.
tuition, so then the private schools make the money off of
in
the
every
vouchers.
state, when this passed, in every state, they rate,
They
the
raise
private
tuitions.
schools raise tuitions, which meant that our normal kids couldn't get in, so, I don't know.
Well, I always
Okay.
thought, and don't know for sure, that was what they were trying to do in the inner city schools, but
Mhm.
without commercializing. You know, which would make more sense than just sending a bunch of money in there and then letting.
Do whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna really line somebody's pocket then.
It will.
That's
It
it.
So
sure
I-
will.
Okay, you said that the finance committee can kill this.
They can.
Okay. How many's on that finance committee then? Does the majority of the finance committee have to vote it down? Is that how that works?
They have to vote, yes, they have to vote.
You know how many
And-
people's on that?
I can't remember exactly,
Okay.
but I can tell you, like, we had a good feeling when we left. And I think part of that is we went in force, you know what I mean? And that's, I think that is one of the hardest things, because obviously directors of schools can't get out of their districts. But when you have TOS and you have TSBA and they are trying their best, you have PET, you have TEA, everybody's trying to fight for this. But they're so small, and you have all these groups with big signs and stuff, and when you have 140 some superintendents going to the Capitol, that sends a statement. And when that happened, it was like, it sucked the air out of the room a little bit. So I felt like that was, and we were in both the Senate and the House, so it was a little stressful. I wish Ryan was there. I wasn't gonna lie. I was gonna text him and ask him if he wanted to come to Nashville with me.
I would have.
He would have. He really would have. That's his
Well, we
thing.
got verbal support from our folks. So,
Oh, yeah.
You know,
We do.
if they have any
But
influence.
yeah.
Are you talking about Kelly Casely? Is that?
And Ken.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken. Now Ken has he has had a lot of power as far as, as far as our two. But now you've got Reagan, you've got Sapiki, you've got Cameron Sexton, which is the
Now,
speaker.
he's Crossville, right?
Yeah, he is.
And he is supporting this big time, right?
By way of Scott County.
Watch some of those,
Yeah.
the ones that are really pushing so many, they come right out of those districts in Nashville.
They do.
and-
But the other thing, Kevin, you said that you thought that they would look at the performance of these schools and that might
Yes.
kill it. How long will that take for them to start?
Well, I
really
mean,
get
as long as the governor wants to take, he's in
So
control.
it can be very
Yeah.
slow.
But I mean, it's already there. People have already looked at the numbers and they're not great. They're about like
Disappointed in him on
public
that.
ed.
Are they held at the
Nothing
same
special.
time?
No,
Excuse me?
no, they're
Now, I'm
not.
talking about, I'm probably talking more about Memphis than I am.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Anybody.
okay.
But now, no, the accountability, like our kids, if you put, of course, Ryan and Dylan up against some of
Yeah.
those, like, there's no comparison. These kids take tests from 3rd grade up, okay? That is not what private schools do. It's 3rd grade, I think there's one in 8th grade, and then they have to take an ACT or an SAT. That's the 3 tests they take. And we benchmark 3 times a year, we test every year, which I'm not saying, like, we like to know where our kids are. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, there's a difference because we can gauge where they're at. We know what they need help with. We can individualize their education plan. And they're held to a completely different
But you're
standards.
comparing apples and oranges,
Oh,
aren't you?
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
very
and there
unfair.
is no comparison. I mean, and exposure, I would say that, because just like say, for example, we love our special needs kids, these boys love our special needs kids. They know how to interact, they know how to, and that's life. And I don't necessarily know that that's always the case in a private school. But anyway, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox.
No, I wanted to, I was gonna ask anyway, cause I don't.
Yeah, and it's a disaster in most states, and they are really struggling to clean it up. I just hope that doesn't pass. If it does, I mean,
We don't have a choice.
we'll pick up the pieces
Well,
and,
2 years, we'll you'll have a choice in 2 years.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You will.
And a choice on some of them this year.
That'll, I think the next governor may, win based on that decision.
I think so.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure that we remember that and
Absolutely.
push,
Yeah.
when we,
Well, and I've sent a text to the principals on my way here while I was driving. I'm not gonna, where's Jason? Sorry about that. But anyway, I asked to get in their schools to do some of their staff meetings, and they're gonna set up a date for me to go in and kind of talk to them about some of the things that we learned down there. So I think it'll be very beneficial for them because, I typically try to protect them from everything. I don't want them stressed out or whatever, but I think right now they need to know kind of what's going on. So we're gonna have a short meeting with each school and kind of give them a little bit of an update.
Okay. Stacy, you wanna finish?
I gotta do the elementary too.
Oh, I know. Do you wanna go first? You wanna follow me? It's kind of hard to.
Mine's gonna be short and sweet.
Okay.
You wanna go first or you?
Let me get mine over. All right, so we have parent-teacher conferences on Tuesday. We had a really good turnout. I think a lot of that was due to the fact that we have created kind of this spreadsheet that all teachers share in this kind of one document, what students are at risk of failing. And then we ask them to contact them. It's a good way to see if it's just one class or if it's something bigger going on with that student. So we had about, I tried to count it up, some of those might have been repeats for different classes, but about 50 parents, and that's a huge amount for a high school. But
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of us prodding to come visit their teacher. So ACT is next week. We're forcing our students to take ACT boot camp. We're not real happy with us right now, but we have seen the results from that. So I hope that they will look back on that and appreciate it when they get a better ACT score. Hoping anyway. We also have pre-ACT the following week. They have to attend 3 of those and get signed, and then I don't know if this is on the up, but we let them have the second half of the day to let their brain rest after that. So hopefully some good motivation, and then we give rewards for anybody that grows in that. So
We do have, there are incentives for,
yeah. Included in your file, I had a folder, I don't know if they just stuck it in the one you have, but all the spring sports schedules are in there. Softball was canceled, and I think baseball was canceled tonight. It's a lot of rain. And I also want to thank Sean West for coming in on short notice and taking on the role of baseball coach. That is a relief for me as a principal that will be taken and done really well. But I appreciate that. That is a huge sacrifice for him. He is extremely busy as it is, and I just appreciate he's always willing. Sean's just the kind of
who's
person.
helping him?
Nate Brennan, who helped before,
Yeah.
and then Jacob Hamilton,
Oh, yeah.
and then Lauren is volunteering to help when he can.
Good.
He's helping with outfield. I just appreciate him. Anything you ask Sean to do, he's always gonna do it with a smile. We have Night of the Arts coming up, March 14th. Greg cards go out on the 20th. If you look at this AIRS Foundation flyer, we're gonna do this a little bit different, and I hope this is okay, but they're willing to come in and do something really special for our kids. And it is during the day. Normally do a senior night, senior night. But we always have a sports conflict usually with that as well, so some kids miss out on it. This is gonna be during the day, and they are gonna invest a lot of funding into this to make it a very special event, and then they're gonna feed families of our seniors afterwards. So we thought that we should take advantage of that and kind of build that in and make ours bigger and better, what we normally do. So just letting you know that is a day event, and I'm sorry that you might have to, or if you wanna come, you might have to miss work, but we think that it's well worth it to make those kids feel as appreciated as they should. And then we will still do a senior breakfast. If any of you guys want to attend that and speak to our seniors, please feel free to come do that. And just spend some time with them in fellowship, and as they kind of take their walk to their last walk to elementary and around the school and do their last practice. So I'd love for you guys to be a part of that if you would enjoy that. I'll get you, when it gets closer to time, I'll remind you of the date of that. having tons of post-secondary opportunities, right now. We did OSHA training, this past week. And, last month we did 2 trips to the University of Cumberland's, Pellissippi State for the arts, and coming up, tomorrow, got a trip to LMU. The 13th, they're going to Tennessee Tech. The 21st, they're going to South College. We are really, really getting these kids out there and giving them opportunity to get on these college campuses, so I love it. So that's my report.
Okay,
I'll follow
Zach.
that. Obviously, short notice with this one. With all the negativity coming back, kind of, just keep remembering we are Oneida.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fine.
That's right.
Okay, numbers are huge for pre-K registration, so people still wanna be a part of this place. Parent-teacher conferences, we had huge numbers, especially with kids that it's hard to get a hold of parents by the phone or anything else. They showed up. We take care of the soccer field for the teams. Coach Birchfield and Riggs got everything ready to roll. Got the sod down in the places that we couldn't grow grass. So it should be ready whenever season starts. Other than that, there's something in your folder with our partners through the state that's helping us in the classroom stuff. They use us as an example. I know our scores didn't show it when they came out, but they use us as an example to other schools on how we're implementing all their strategies and stuff in the classroom. So I think everything's gonna be good on that. Other than that, you wanna see us work, come into school, we'll gladly show you.
And I so appreciate the work on the soccer field. We had a coach that was kind of just really ugly about the field at one point. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, we're not going to play on this crap, kind of that attitude. And I was like, that's not gonna happen again. So I went to Coach Birchfield and was like, listen, I don't care what it takes, this field, we're gonna get this. And that wasn't me by any means, but just a big push. The director was pushing as well, but there used to be this mud hole that was right in front of the goal that just was there for years. And it takes a lot of time. You think that's a simple thing. It is a strategic, you gotta kill everything and start all over and fill in, and they have done so much work, and our soccer field looks amazing. So,
Man, they
thank
all
you
do.
so much, Laura, and Zach.
Now, if you
and
pass and I'm
Birchfield.
on the mower, just pass. I mow for a living as well, so I care about what it looks like, so that's why I'm out there.
Well, and
I want it to look right when they're playing, even though I ain't got a dog in the fight.
And I
still
appreciate
care.
when we talked about it, she's like, yes, let's do it. We want our kids to have great facilities, so I really appreciate it. She's always willing to support.
Very good. Okay, we don't have middle school or coordinated school help, but our student representative has
So
something.
this is more of a kind of public comment. So me, Bladen, Lydia, and Cheyenne, we're all in government for our own state, and we have a civics project. So one of the we have 3 groups. One goes to the county commission, one goes to Oneida, and lastly here. So I have probably had my head cut off today. I've been very busy. But we're just going to have to talk to you after. We're going to ask you a couple questions. You will have someone assigned to you, Mark. He'll probably have to join one of you guys. Just for you to be thinking, we have to determine if the commissioner or board member is a type of the following type of legislator, a trustee, or a delegate. So I'll let you think about that one. And I think we'll just be talking to you a little bit after the meeting. We won't hold you long because we all have very busy lives. And that's all I have.
Okay, very good. There's conflicts come up, and we were wondering if we could move the meeting in April from Thursday to Friday.
First Friday?
Yeah. Any,
I think I'm gonna be
What-
on
what
that,
is that?
but that's fine. Y'all do without me.
The 5th,
The 5th.
5th,
be the 5th instead of the 4th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
We'll,
We'll look at it, and if it doesn't work out,
We can have
it'll
some
still
salsa.
be on. Okay, Dorothy's
Y'all
gone.
have without me. That's fine.
But I'll be in touch with everybody, the KU or somebody. And then too, we've got our director evaluation coming up, and the form will come out on email, fill it out, send it back, and it'll be tallied. And then there's a new thing now, a new policy that the board has to do a self-evaluation. And Tammy will send that out from TSBA, complete it, send it back. They'll tabulate it there and send us the results.
Okay, now,
This
when you
is the
say,
one we've already done.
I'll be sending
We've
the
already done
evaluation tomorrow via
Yeah,
email.
it-
And it's the
like
same
the-
format that you all
yeah.
chose to use last year.
Yeah,
The
For
school
her.
email.
yes, yeah, for her.
but for TSBA, this is as a board as a whole?
Well,
We do
each one does it
individually?
individually, then the report comes back and we
Okay.
have a meeting and go over it.
Okay.
That's what the policy says.
Yeah.
What was it, 1.103?
03,
It's a
yes.
new one.
Yeah.
I had to go back and look it up. I remembered it coming across and going over it, but, that's all that we've
That's,
got.
that a new policy by them, by TSBA, not a?
No, it's a state policy.
It was
Oh.
included in our audit. They
Yeah.
added it in our audit that we did this past year.
And so, just a quick update, I don't mean to interrupt, but Bo Kidd sent me the information. There's 11 members on the Senate Standing Committee for Finance, 21 members in the House, for Standing Committee for Government Operations and Finance, so.
That's a
There's
bunch.
Yeah, there are.
So they'll just take a vote whether it's gonna pass, or
Well,
whether
I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll hash
veto
out.
it?
Mhm.
Go
So do
through.
we need to be contacting them, saying, hey, we appreciate your support in vetoing this, or do they know?
I mean, they know from our board, I submitted our
Okay, okay, that's what they're
information.
looking, okay,
But
okay.
now, that doesn't mean, like, I think anybody that wants to contact them, I think that would help a lot, like these guys right here, it'd be awesome if they could pitch in, I mean, to hear from kids, that's amazing, I mean, if you guys would email them,
Do we have
all
like
you
their
do,
civics classes or something, could we encourage that,
you
Stacy?
guys wanna,
Well, the civics project that is, there's a state requirement, obviously, that they take a civics exam, but the state also asks that they do a formal civics project. And so I think that some of the stuff that they're doing is stemming from, I've kind of, as a leadership role, with Ms. Jones, said, can we take this and can we make sure that we're reporting what this is? And make sure we have an exemplar to show the state if we're ever asked
Oh,
what
yeah.
that civics, because they're not specific about what it is, it just says that they are to complete the civic, everyone has to pass the civics exam to graduate, and that there has to be a civics project that goes along with that class, so.
We could do that as a project, maybe.
Yeah, so if that would be something, like, if that's something, we can certainly talk to Ms. Jones about that, she's kind of heading up, figuring out what the best, most beneficial civics project is.
and
That would
Bo,
certainly be beneficial.
Bo is sending me some links, so I'll send it out to the
Okay.
board,
Okay,
he's sending them right now,
and
so.
just flood them with emails.
Yeah,
And Ron, if you want to bring that up to her as well, if that was brought up.
Okay, if there's nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Make that motion.
Second,
Second.
we are adjourned.
hey Stacy, I met with Jim and Janet Ayers, and they love you,
Oh,
they love you.
I appreciate